What's going on, everybody? It's Ted with the Countdown to the Geek Cast, and I'm here with the man of the hour, Henry Thomas. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks, Ted. Nice to
How?
meet you.
Very nice to meet you too. How has the event been going so far?
It's been going well. Yeah, lots of ET fans, despite 40 years. You know, they're still out there.
And there's still more coming. You've been quite busy. The 40th anniversary, you've been doing a lot of shows and a lot of interviews about it. You recently reunited with your on-screen siblings. How was it meeting with Rob and Drew again?
Well, it's great. I see Robert quite a bit because we do a lot of these convention appearances
Sure.
together, and Dee Wallace, who played Mary, we tend to show up. But it was nice seeing Drew. I hadn't seen Drew in 20 years, so.
It was funny to learn that, I guess, on set she thought E.T. was a real character, a real creature.
Yeah, well, she was only 6 years old at the time.
Yeah.
7, turning 7.
Sure.
Or just had turned 7. I can't remember, but yeah, she was still kind of like the veil of fantasy and reality. It wasn't quite lifted.
Yeah, there you go. The magic of Steven Spielberg bringing his characters to life.
Yeah, I guess so.
What are your fondest memories about working on the movie?
For me, it's just it's a film that I did when I was a kid, of which there are only 4.
Right.
And it was a very exciting time in my life because I had just started working in film. I had just gotten my first part a year before that, and it kind of, everything in that first year just kind of was a blur,
Sure.
So I'm just amazed at the film's lasting
Appeal?
appeal, and I guess the fact that audiences still seek it out.
Not only that, but the nostalgia, it's all still there. You surprised a lot of folks when you did this Xfinity commercial.
Yeah.
And you reprised your character, and we got to see Elliot and E.T. back on screen. Was it as magical for you as it was for all of us watching it, not knowing it was going to show up? It was a great surprise.
Well, when you're a part of something like this, it's always a little bit like how the card trick goes.
Sure,
right?
sure.
You see the fishing line and all the strings.
Absolutely.
But it's still exciting. It's exciting for actors, because it's like seeing it with an audience, or you seeing the audience's reaction. That's where you say, "Oh, great! I guess we did do a good job." Right? So, for me, and just the relationship with the film over the years, I think I'm always excited when people are excited about it.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Was there anything you prepared for trying to get back into Elliot? It may or may not feel unusual trying to step back into those shoes after such a long time.
Well, I think, I had to go back and, react like my 10-year-old self to everything, and so that was, I was re-inhabiting the character, but there wasn't a lot of scripted dialogue or anything. It's a commercial, so
Right.
It was pretty cursory, but I thought that audiences really, really loved that spot. It filled that little void that people were looking a sequel to fill, and I liked it because I think it's as close as we can get to a sequel without totally betraying the original.
Right.
Yeah.
Feeding that appetite just briefly, but yeah. You've been pretty busy working with a fantastic storyteller, Mike Flanagan, and you're part of, do they have a name for you guys? He kind of takes his crew along with him.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard them say the Flaniverse, but I don't, I think that's kind of silly. We're just kind of, we're if we're anything, we're almost like a repertory theater that just isn't very well organized, I suppose, because we're not on the same shows all the time.
I gotcha.
It's kind of it's kind of a rotation.
I gotcha. I love all of his works, and you have something really exciting coming out, House of Usher.
Yes.
What can you
House of
tell?
Usher.
What can you tell fans about that?
So, in the spirit of Haunting of Hill House or Haunting of Bly Manor,
Right.
We take a literary work, and then, or we take an author's literary works and we kind of play them out over 8 episodes.
Sure.
So this is the fall of the House of Usher. It's all Edgar Allan Poe's works, and it's set against the backdrop of course, House of Usher, but you see like Telltale Heart and The Pit and the Pendulum and all of these stories kind of come into play within the episodes.
Right.
So I think audiences will like it, and it's kind of our last big show at Netflix, because Mike has now left Netflix and moved to Amazon.
Yeah, definitely. Well, fans will be excited to see that, and you still have a few hours to come see Henry Thomas. If you're in the San Antonio area, we're at the Wonderland Mall of Americas, the intersection of 410 and I-10, and he'll be taking photos as well as signing autographs. You still have a few hours. Get here as quickly as you can. Henry, thanks so much for taking the time to meet with me, man.
Thank you, Ted. Appreciate
and good luck to you.
Thank
for the
you.
rest of your time.
I'll try. I'll do my best.